The lead up to Sandy, we didn't expect any of this. We heard that we were under mandatory evacuation, so we left and we went to my aunt's house, but we never expected what was actually coming.
Okay, the hurricane happens, you can't even send texts out the day after, people weren't getting them, it was all messed up, phone calls were not happening at all. My mother lives, 10 minutes away, my other aunts live 15 minutes in one direction, everybody's within 15 minutes of where I'm at this part of the shore. And to not be able to contact them, makes you feel pretty disconnected.
I actually was not at my house, luckily. I went to stay with my boyfriend who kind of lives up a hill. My sister, unfortunately, wasn't so lucky. She stood home and actually had to get rescued. They came with a rescue boat and had to take her and her boyfriend and amongst other neighbors out of their houses.
It was a disaster zone. We had about 2 feet of flooding, so there was just mud everywhere. The carpets were drenched with water and mud, and everything was just trashed.
So the tree in front of my house uprooted and it collapsed on top of the house, and all the weight-bearing walls in the front of the house collapsed and were compromised. So we were evacuated from our home, and it was deemed unsafe.
When it hit, I was with my wife and my 3-year-old daughter at her house. During the day it was fine, we had power. My daughter loves the Thriller video, so we were giving her one last chance to watch Thriller prior to the lights going out, and halfway through the video, that's when the power went out.
The power went out, and with the power, no heat. The gas is on. And I'm saying, well, we have this big pot, let's boil some water. And I became really resourceful. And so my wife, and we have a newborn and 3-year-old, my wife was like, look, we should head for the hills, run. In that moment, it gave me an opportunity to exercise that belief. We're gonna make it. We're gonna get through this, And there came a point where I said, you know what? As opposed to us freaking out, how about we just stop and be grateful? How about we stop and be grateful right now that we have each other? How about we stop right now and be grateful that our home is still intact? How about we right now, let's think about some other people who are having it 20 times worse than us.
It's just like a domino effect. First, you lose your electricity, and then there's damage to your property, and then you can't get any gas, and you can't go out, and you can't feed your children. And all of these things really add up and affect not just that individual, not just that family, but the community as a whole.
Our town had to order a crane from, I think it was from another state, to come to remove the tree because the crane that they had access to wasn't big enough to lift such a big tree.
My mom and I are kind of like the same person, and she really just didn't know how to react, and neither did I. It was just one of those things where we both walked into the house and we both just broke down and burst into tears.
Just to not have a bed of your own to sleep in. I think everyday things that people might take for granted, that's what hurts the most.
The basic comforts and necessities of life, hygiene, nutrition, showering, eating, these are things just to live and just to be a normal, productive member of society.
We all had to separate because of the storm. Being away from my family feels very strange. I'm not usually away from them for long, other than the few times I've lived on campus, and it's just weird not to wake up in the morning and see them all.
And like I said, I'm not the only person that is living this way right now, and it's just really hard, and it's just sad seeing everybody having to go through this. It's so devastating.
There's a very high frustration level in dealing with this crisis that's going on within our state, within our area now.
I know that with the hurricane, we're all working to try and make our community better, to try and fix up the beaches and the boardwalks, and to try and get all the people who are in shelters to homes, because I can't even imagine what they're going through.
And I know that the material things will be replaced, so I'm honestly not concerned about the car or the house.
Things can be replaced, people can't be.
A lot of people I've seen have been trying to help. They've been going out and volunteering, or they've been going to help their family members tear out the wall 18 inches above where the water was. It's like a wheel. When you help someone, it comes back around when you need help.
I'm a person that doesn't really like asking for help. It has humbled me to receive help, and that it's okay.
Just that act of asking can really help you build your confidence, because most likely you're not going to get shut down and people are going to be willing to say, I can help you in some way. People love to help people because, you know, it makes them feel good about themselves.
I stopped by one of the Salvation Army places and I dropped off a bunch of clothes and packages of bottled water. We had way too many. And I said to my mom, as sad as I've been myself, it still felt really great knowing that you could help someone else that may not have a house standing anymore or, you know, have to go live in a shelter for months on end.
My support system is very, very tight and very solid, which I'm blessed. Not many people have that. If I didn't have so much family members around here and I was stranded like that, I would have been terrified.
You should be scared following a storm. It's not like it's something minor that happened. I think right now you're seeing a lot of people that are initially shocked still from the storm. It's only a couple weeks past. I think we're going to see people feeling more anxious and shocked later down the road. Who's ever out there, if you have questions, you have feelings, talk about it, research it.
Keep your head up and don't be scared to ask somebody for help if you need. There's a lot of people that are donating their time, whether it be hot meals, water, food, clothes. Everyone's kind of here to help, and don't be scared to accept help if you need it.